It's good.
Like really good or just...
Tastes like your banana bread.
And that's a good thing.
Uh-huh.
Taste, Siri, taste. Yes, no? Yes, no, maybe so! Let's make banana bread. It's the first thing I ever learned how to bake. And I normally use a recipe. In fact, I'm going to link the recipe below because that website is really good. And I want you... You can't see the dishes in the sink, right? Let's hide the dishes. So I'm going to link the recipe website in the link so that you have the proper way of making banana bread. Today, I'm just going to see if I remember how to do it properly and go with the flow. I feel I need to explain this, what's happening here. This is my painting hoodie. I love hoodies and I love to be warm while I paint. Today is one of those days, so here I am. But my daughter really likes banana bread and I want to do that for her. I've also had these bananas in the fridge for a couple of days. We had them on the counter and nobody ate them. And then once they got like this, I put them in the fridge knowing that we'll put them to good use. If I haven't mentioned it already, my birthday is coming up pretty soon here. And that kind of makes a girl think, you know? Well, firstly, I'm not a girl anymore, am I? I am a woman. I am a woman. Birthdays make you think. It makes you think about stuff. I'm a little bit conflicted because I'm wondering, do I just talk about what's on my mind or do I share the recipe for the banana bread? What do we do? What would you like? Tell me what you would like. And I will, you know, let's just talk about what's on my mind. 350. Okay, we're gonna preheat the oven to 350 in the meantime while I gather everything together. They look exactly the same, so I don't even know why I tried to decide between the two. Friend, let's talk. What's on my mind is this channel, this YouTube channel of mine. When I started this channel, my desire was to create a channel that would allow me to communicate in a way that felt very natural to who I am, that allowed me to be myself in all the ways. And I think the most important thing to me was to be known. Let me explain what I mean by that. So, I'm a fairly private person. And that's good, right? Like, that's okay. And in being private, it's not just with strangers. I'm like open private, if there's ever such a thing. It's not just with people whom I don't know and who don't know me, but also people in my life. And I feel I just felt, there was a point last year, 2022, where I felt extremely lonely. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel not alone, but like extremely lonely. And I wondered why that was. And I realized it was because I wasn't letting people in. Everyone, like family, friends, I was keeping everybody at a certain distance. And I suppose it's because like you just don't want to get hurt, you know? And so then something came over me at the end of 2022 where I was like, oh my gosh, if I died today, nobody would know who, like me. Not who I am as in the name of the person and whatever, or achievements or anything like that. I mean, nobody would just like know the mundane, you know, like a witness to your life. And in fact, I feel as if let's be Martha Stewart for a second. Not like Martha Stewart even does things like that, but I just feel Betty Crocker-ish right now. It's coming along. Yeah, I just felt as if like no one was a witness to your life, truly, because you didn't let people in, you know? That bothered me. I know there's like a tip on how to make sure that your sugar, once it's open, the brown sugar, that it stays moist. Not moist, what am I looking for? That it just stays sugary, like loose. But I forgot what the tip is, so now my sugar looks something like this. And so we're gonna do what we do with it, which is to drop it on the ground. In that realization, I made a decision. And that decision was to create a space, or to have a creative outlet, rather, that was a little bit more autobiographical. Because painting can be that, and of course my journals are that for me, but they're very private. Even painting is it's a very emotional experience for me, like a very private emotional experience, like the creation of the work. And so I realized that video is very comforting to me, because on video, I don't know why it is, it just feels, video feels natural. And so I started this YouTube channel so that I could have a space that would be a witness to who I am, to me, in the way that I see myself. And I feel that it will be useful for my great-grandchildren one day. And if you and I can chill and have a good time and enjoy that journey together, why not? Why not? Why not, huh? So obviously when you follow the actual recipe, you'll know how much sugar to put in. But now we're doing it, we're going rogue. We're going crazy. When I was learning to bake, which is like right now, because I'm not a good baker, I can bake bread, but desserts and things, it's a science. And we can clearly see that I'm not a scientific person, because a scientific person would measure. I think that's enough sugar for today. If I run off in the next few minutes, don't mind me. I do have a work call and they're running a little bit late, so I'm giving them some time. So if I run off, that's where I've gone. But I'll be back. This sugar is giving me a hard time. Hey sugar, you're my sugar, honey, honey. Who sings that song? You know that song. Oh, and I also changed my top because I couldn't very well go into a video call wearing the painting hoodie, you know? We're not gonna be that person. No. No, ma'am. Honey, honey. You my sugar. You know what? We're just... Dang it. Okay, at least it didn't get on me. We're just gonna let the sugar melt while we add the other ingredients. You know what would have been smart? What would have been smart is if I had just added a little bit of water to the sugar, like just a touch. That would have been smart. I didn't do that, and that's okay. This is me trying to convince myself. It is. It's fine. Of course it's fine. Right, so that's what was on my mind. I was just kind of reminding myself and trying to remember, like, why did I start this? Not because anybody asked. In fact, what people asked instead was, what's my niche? And my answer was that my niche is me. Is that conceited? Is it? Because I really feel like in the world as well as on the internet, there's room for everybody. There's room for you, there's room for me, there's room for all of us to just draw our little white line, you know? To like carve our space and be us. Okay, I gotta go. My meeting has started. False alarm. We're back! This is good. This back and forth is good because then the eggs can warm up because they were not room temperature, and the sugar is melting. You my sugar. Da-da-dum. I don't have enough butter, but I don't think Zuri's gonna care. Nor do I think it's going to mess up the recipe. It is nicely at room temperature, so that's good. Follow the recipe in the link. That doesn't at all mean that I've given up on this. Because all the love I have for my children is gonna go right in here, okay? All the love, because food just tastes better when you make it from a place of love. It really... I'm literally seeing stars when I do this. Not anymore. That was weird. Okay! Round 3. We're back at it again. Well, so far we have our bananas, and then we have our sugar, and then we have our, what did I put in here? Eggs. Now, what shall we put in banana bread? I think a little bit of salt to even out the sugar, and then I'm gonna put some yogurt in it, because why not? I'm sure that plain yogurt would probably have been a better option. You know, I'm getting nervous now about this not working, so I think I might pull out like a recipe that I have written because I want it to work. All right, let's pull. We have the recipe. Let's see. These recipes are, the first one says perfect oatmeal. And then inside that one, what are the other ones? First, Oh, and then I have my crepes recipe. And then I have, oh, and then I have my pancakes recipe. And then I have my banana bread recipe. Yay! 3 bananas, cool. 3 eggs, room temperature, didn't do that. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. We're back on track. Vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. I think that should be alright. I don't know if this is in my recipe, but I like a little bit of cinnamon. Or a lot of cinnamon. Okay, and then back on the recipe, 1/3 cup of plain Greek yogurt. See, I knew yogurt would be a good idea, except I don't have plain. I have vanilla Greek yogurt. I'm sure that should be fine. 2 tablespoons of room temperature unsalted butter. The me a few minutes ago when I started this was doing all right, but a little bit unsure, you know, like I needed some guidance. This is looking good. This is looking all right. You know, this is my first time, I think, doing an actual recipe on here, and I don't know why I'm nervous, but I feel myself nervous. Like, if you ever wanted to know if I'm nervous about something, or if I'm feeling insecure or uncomfortable, you can always tell by my eyes. Just the point I'm trying to make is that I want this to work out. I want this to work out on here. I don't know why it's being so, I don't know, I just want it to work out. So yeah, so like I have this nervous energy. If you can feel it, that's the nervous energy. Maybe the nervous energy will calm down now that I actually have directions, because okay, we have unsalted butter, we need all-purpose flour. Oh, dang it! My recipe says 1/2 cup almond flour, but I for sure know that I don't have almond flour right now. Oh man. Oh, it said cinnamon, and then next to cinnamon it says, can you see that? It says Zuri measurement, which means I did well. Oh, baking soda and baking powder. I need that. If there's one thing that I do not like, oh, how about we put the microphone on? How about that? Microphone is on. Microphone checker. If there's one thing I don't enjoy, and that is having baking soda aftertaste in my baked goods. So whether that is banana bread, pancakes and things like that, I don't like to go, you know, and then tasting the baking soda. So I prefer having more baking powder and less baking soda. I don't know if that is something you should take as a tip to follow, but thought I should share. Another something I learned about baking is to not overwork the dough. So I nearly forgot that. I'm gonna go easy now. Salt. I don't want it too salty. I think that should That should do it. That looks good. The next step is to put this in here and then in the oven. It's good to have parchment paper. I don't have parchment paper because it's just not something I think of buying. So we'll go without the parchment paper. Because I don't have that parchment paper, I think what I'll just do is I'll just use the butter to butter the pan. The more and more I record videos, the more and more I start recognizing what a limited vocabulary I have. I mean, I suppose reading could be a good thing. And I do read. I listen to books on Audible. That's what I do. And that's reading. I've been trying to be okay with the fact that that's reading, because I used to be a big reader, like read, I don't know, 200, 300 page book in a night, but I'm just not that person in most recent years. And all of the books that I've read have been through listening to Audible, which is still reading, isn't it? I also buy a lot of books, and I end up reading only the extracts of the books that I really like, and I open it and I read it and I enjoy it, and that's it. But I haven't read a book cover to cover in over 2 years, I would say. The last book I read cover to cover was Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and I loved it. I loved it, and I told everybody to read it. So if I haven't told you, read it. It's so entertaining. It really, really is. Okay, the big moment. Come closer, come closer. This is heavy. Here we go. I like how this worked out. Batter. Oh! Ah! We're leaving no man behind, except we're not gonna pick up what's on the floor. I was gonna let you taste the batter. I think this is gonna be good. I think this is gonna be more than good. Okay, I just licked that, so we're not gonna use that hand. We're gonna use this hand. Okay, there we go. Chan 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 chan. Chan 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 chan. In the oven it goes. I noticed the camera is on my butt more than it is on my face. The oven is going to bake the batter and make it banana bread, and it's going to take something like 30 minutes. I'm gonna check it in 30 minutes, but that should be enough, if not like 35. Suppose it depends on your oven. That's it. We made banana bread, and while that happens, I'm gonna go take a shower. Come take a shower with me. Or not. She's showered, she's clean, she's fresh-faced, she's ready to continue with the banana bread. Duh. That was me trying to make sure that I put my tripod down in a way where it won't keep shaking. How do you like my outfit, firstly? Wait. In fact, let's just roll the clip of when I wore this yesterday when I went to see my surgeon. There we are. Okay, there's no one around. I'm gonna do a quick photo shoot. I will do an update on the reconstructive surgery because there is an update. It's a good one. We'll do an update, okay? A whole update video on reconstructive surgery. Right now, I think it turned out pretty good. Maybe a little brown, but okay. Yes, definitely a little more brown. It's hot, but not terrible. Okay. Okay. Not bad, huh? It looks really good. Okay. I like the crust. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, we'll taste this one. Although I really like the crust, but only when it's super cold and it gives you that crunch. That salt was a very good idea, good call. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this was a success. I think this is brilliant. Before my kettle starts boiling, listen, it is important that you use unsalted butter, because if you use salted butter, you cannot control the amount of salt that's going to be within your baked goods. So always use unsalted butter, and then you can control the salt by putting salt in it yourself. My kettle is about to get loud, and thank you for hanging again. I do love you. Thank you so much for subscribing. So kind of you. See you again. Sugar. Da-da-dum.